post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD within. They took out the D. Well, what I was told and what I was taught is about post-traumatic growth. I take my trauma and let it be a catalyst to propel me forward. I made a choice that I didn't want to live the way other people lived and say, this is what's happening to me, and started to make the things I needed in my life to make them happen.
That's crazy. Talk to me a little bit more about that that military history from like where you started to pretty much where you are at now. Because I know that the military either brings out the best in you or brings out the worst.
It brought out a whole lot of things in me. It's the Marine Corps, baby. Like, hell, death, and destruction. Every moment I live is an additional threat upon your life. Like, that's the type of things we learn. I don't think that way anymore. I want to make sure it's clear. Cut grass and I help people grow. But like, it's indoctrination, right? And so the military gave me discipline. I do things when I don't want to do them. I can do hard things when other people quit. I can do things that most people deem impossible because I make a choice to move forward. And it also gave me the ability to be organized and appreciate the small things, because the Marine Corps always talks about doing more with less.
Yep.
And people, one of the things I had the biggest issue with when I actually came back from deployment was people not lack of appreciation for the things that they had. What's that saying? They say many gave some gave all. Right. That means, many were there. I gave you a part of me, but like some gave the ultimate sacrifice, their lives. And that's not lost to me. Right. And I use that to push me forward in everything that I do, and make the choices based off the people that are no longer able to make those choices because they sacrificed their lives. So I could be here having this conversation with you, owning a franchise in Augusta or changing people's lives. And I made sure I took that experience and make something positive with it, right? And the Marine Corps is not a fun place all the time. Like your brotherhood and there's exciting things. You get to blow up stuff, you get to shoot stuff, you get to go cool places, right? But there's also a part of it where people like I always tell it, people like, oh, dude, that stuff happens in the Marine Corps. Marines are still human. Right. And humans have emotions. Humans need compassion. Humans need empathy. Humans need joy. Humans experience sadness. And sometimes when you are in the Marine Corps, you get jaded by that. Right. And so you leave, and when nobody's giving you all those things, or they're not being created within your environment, you get to a place where you don't know if, what's important to you. But I have people in the Marine Corps that tell me, like, don't take this stuff too seriously. Make sure you're doing the things that bring you value, no matter if it's today or tomorrow. And so it's like the biggest value I got out of the Marine Corps is the people that I met along the way that gave me the tools to put in my toolbox so I could be successful.
You talked a little bit about the different qualities that you learned in the Marine Corps, whether it's leadership, compassion, discipline. I want to zoom in a little bit on discipline because it's a pretty misused term sometimes. What do you think is the biggest lie that most people believe when it comes to discipline?
Well, I start with the first thing I learned in the Marine Corps is what we call the definition of discipline at that time: instant willingness, obedience to orders, self-reliance, and teamwork. Right? It's like instant willingness is like you need to do the thing now and not think about it. Like execution. It's not about like, let's wait, let's see what's going on. But the instant willingness, obedience to orders, right? And so when it's obedience, like people think about, oh, you're telling me what to do. It's no, you're listening to yourself. What decisions are you making that you're not moving forward on, right? And so disciplines is literally doing hard things when you don't want to do them, right? Standing in a position of attention for hours, rushing into a building, whatever it looks like. But the discipline sets you up for success because most people buckle when it gets hard. Most people run away when it gets hard. Like literally in the military alone, the discipline comes for us doing things that other countries will not put their other people through. That's what training is. Right? Discipline is doing it day in and day out, no matter what the situation, no matter what the weather, and not making excuses. No, most Marines, that's the saying is that if a Marine ain't complaining, he ain't happy. right? That's discipline, right? But guess what? They're still getting the job done. They're still America's 911, the strongest fighting force in the world. And so, with that being said, our level of discipline that we have to do things when we don't want to do them, I mean, you're unstoppable. There's nothing that can't be accomplished with somebody propelling themselves forward with that type of power.
One of the things that I like to say that kind of goes with what you were saying was when times get hard, the hard get going.
Okay.
You know? So I really like that quote because most people, like you're saying, that buckle under pressure, that's kind of what that quote stands out to me with about. Like when times do get hard, the only person that gets through it are the ones that go at it.
You got to go through it to grow through it, man. And people just want to be given things, and it's just not what it is, man. It's just like it's structure, it's dedication, it's resilience, it's grit. I mean, I can use a lot of different words to describe what discipline actually is, but it's the ability to do things when you don't want to do them. And like my wife always tells me all the time, is like, well, you like going to work. I said, I do not like working at all. I don't even like running. And so, but you do it every day because there's a necessary outcome that I'm looking for. I know this has to be done to get there. And I'm not going to be the one saying that I can't if I won't.
So what would you say, not what would you say, how would you diagnose people when it comes to their lack of discipline, whether it becomes like burnout or avoidance or just overall being tired? How would you diagnose those three kinds of people?
Well, I ain't gonna diagnose nobody because I ain't a doctor. We'll hit you with that one, right? But my observation of another human being, right, is like you got to ask them questions, like who are you? Where do you come from? Why do you believe the things you believe? Actually, Marco sent me something the other day, and it talks about trash in, trash out.
Okay.
Right. And it talks about, we always looking for the output of people, but we're not looking for the input of, what made them who they are. Right. And that's a big piece. Like what is feeding you? What is feeding those things? And where do you come from? And so if you want to help someone, if you want to move somebody out of the place that they're in and get them to get just a little momentum, right, you have to understand who they are, why they do the things that they do. And you have to talk to them in a way where they understand it, not just because you believe it to be so, right? Because I can't tell you who you are. The expert of you is you, right? I just need to give you the tools to look deeper so you can make the decisions from there. I'm the guide, not the change.
That's understandable. And in the coaching setting, when you're coaching these different athletes, different people, what is that process looking like? Because like you said, you have to get to know the person. You have to know where they're coming from. You have to know why they do the things they do, why they think the things that they think. So in that coaching setting, are you coaching people based on what they're planning to do? Or are you coaching people based on what they are, who they are?
Coaching is like cutting grass. Most customers don't know what the hell they want.
Okay.
Right? They know where they want it. They know where the end result they want, but they don't know what it takes to get there. Our job is to educate. Right. That's what coaches are. My job is to educate it and keep you safe, keep you healthy, and get you the things you want with like minimum failure. Right. Not minimum, not no failure, but like minimum failures. Right. And so the key is just like working with people and taking the time to get to know them. I call it a coaching courtship. Right. Like if I'm coaching you, well, I don't know nothing about you.
Yeah.
So I need to be asking. I need to be more curious than judgmental. I need to stop telling you who you are and ask you who you are. Who do you believe you are? Why do you believe that? How long have you believed it? When did you start believing it? Right. And so if you do that with everything else, and I know we talked about sales before, right? It's you need to be curious, not judgmental. So if you use that in any case, you can get to know a person and more about them without telling them who they are. Because like when you're giving unsolicited advice, where you basically telling a person that you know more than they do, right? And so if you really want to be helpful, be willing to listen, because that is a larger form of communication that most people lack, right? And then ask them the questions and let them teach you about them, right? And so it's about being curious. I think that's the biggest piece of me being a coach. I'm curious of who you are, how you work, and I genuinely want better, more for you, even if you don't know what you want. right? And so then as I get to know you, like I tell people, it don't matter if it's life coaching or athletic coaching, because I do both, right? It doesn't matter what it is. The first 60 to 90 days, you say, well, so how are we going to do it? Well, I don't know who you are. Well, what is your strategy? Like you just asked me, I don't know my strategy, because my strategy with you may not be my strategy with him.
Right.
Like you're not the same person. And for me to assume that you are the same person, guess what? There might be a system to control the data behind it, but the person itself is uncontrollable, right? You are who you are and who you will be until you're not. That's reality, is what is, right? And so it's getting to know each person to the best of your ability, and then you can guide them. Like what we do tests for marketing. We're gonna test this, and the better we know, the more we use this one lane of knowledge over and over and over again, we get better at it. And we tweak it and we make it better. We tweak it, like Mike was just talking about the other day about door hangers. How when they first put them out, like nobody wanted them, but then if you put the words here, then it looks. You put the price on it, it's better. You put the QR code, it's great. Then you cross it out with a red X. It has a better conversion. And so you have to go through these iterations in yourself to continuously be a student of who you are. Always have a learning mindset. And when you have the ability to like look and be introspective and like kind of evaluate yourself, man, you can do great things, man. It's like you running a self-diagnostic.
Thank you so much for watching that clip. Somewhere in this screen is going to be the full episode, so go watch that. And if you like it, then you should definitely join the newsletter. It's going to be a full breakdown every single Monday of the episode. It has the key takeaways, the lessons, and how to apply them, plus a little golden gym nugget for all you guys that are on your fitness and health journey. Plus, you get the media list. It's 5 podcasts and 5 books that have genuinely changed the way that I operate and think. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You guys rock. Thank you very much. All the links down below, and see you next time.